Welcome to today's SAP Community call. My name is Minina Chao. I'm part of the SAP Community team, and today I'm your host. Our topic of this session is SAP AI Business Services, exploit the full potential of intelligent technologies to optimize your business processes. And as always, this call is a recorded session, and you will be able to access all replays of previous SAP Community calls, including this one, at community.sap.com under the Events tab. Our speaker for the session is Jana Würth, Product Manager for SAP AI Business Services. Now, before I hand over, I would like to make you aware of the Q&A button, where you can already raise questions during the presentation. So you should all see a Q&A button. Afterwards, we'll reserve some time to answer as many questions as we can. So, Jana, I would like to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Menina, for the introduction and for the welcome. And thank you for having me on your SAP Community call today. I'm happy to present here today the topic of SAP AI Business Services. And maybe a short look at the agenda of today. At the agenda of today. So first I want to cover the topic of what are SAP AI Business Services and what is exactly offered there. Then I want to show you how you can start exploring our SAP AI Business Services, and then also show you how the SAP AI Business Services can support in volatile times like ours currently. And in the end, there's of course time for Q&A. So let's start with what are SAP AI Business Services. So what do you see on this picture? Was it maybe a concert or a harvest field? As amazing as human intelligence is, people are far from 100% accurate, and a computer can learn to execute tasks often faster and more accurately than people, but usually not with 100% accuracy as well. So, but if we compare human and machine accuracy as of today, we can already see that image recognition accuracy of a human being currently is at 95%, but machines already can reach 97% accuracy. So we can already see that machines can better recognize what is on a picture or what is not. And that is why artificial intelligence is such a hype topic at the moment and such a trend. But let's look at the reality. If you look at current studies and current surveys, you can see that the gap between the hype and the reality is unfortunately still quite big. We can see that 85% of machine learning models and machine learning solutions that have been developed fail to make it into production. That means that the data science efforts, the development efforts, and so on have been basically for nothing, because in the end, those great machine learning models and solutions cannot be used in productive to make our business processes faster or better automated or more correct, more accurate. Also, 50% of organizations struggle with the complexity of AI and the complexity of machine learning models, data science, and so on and so on. And we can see that there is a shortage of 250,000 data scientists in the US by 2024. So actually, we can already see that all of the organizations wanting to do machine learning with data scientists will have a problem getting data scientists in their organizations to actually work on machine learning. So let's see how we, with our SAP AI Business Services, can solve this problem during my presentation. So How can SAP AI help to deliver the intelligent enterprise? So SAP helps with several offerings. One of them is the AI Business Services that we want to talk about today, which deliver embedded or targeted machine learning for very certain small business problems. Then we have data intelligence, our machine learning platform that basically gives you the flexibility to create own machine learning pipelines, models, and deploy them in production. And also we have conversational AI, which gives you the opportunity to build chatbots that can be used in various scenarios with your customers and with your employees. These help us to increase revenue, reimagine processes. So we could, for example, define a standard process that has been there for a long time already in a completely different way using machine learning, making it more efficient or more accurate. Also, we can increase the quality time at work, making sure that redundant manual work that is low value creating or not at all value creating is automated by machine learning and by bots. We can also increase customer satisfaction because we will be able to react to customer inquiries and customer requests much faster and enable innovations. With that, we can come up with maybe new business ideas, with new business models, or new ways how to sell or what to offer to our customers. So what exactly are SAP AI Business Services? So SAP AI Business Services provide strategic machine learning capabilities that can automate and optimize processes. They are part of Cloud Platform, and basically they are machine learning services that are targeted to a very certain business problem that can occur in many different business processes. We currently have 6 AI business services, and in the next slides I will go into more details about what can they do and how could you use them with having use case examples for all of them. So let me start with our first AI business service, Service Ticket Intelligence. Service Ticket Intelligence can be used to automate and speed up the customer service process. So customer requests could come in via, let's say, phone, email, chatbot, or many other channels. And usually you have a service agent that is sitting, maybe the first level support that is sitting at his desk, getting all of those requests in, and then having to dispatch them to the second level support colleagues or even third level support. So he has to identify what is the topic of this ticket. Can I maybe solve it myself already? Or do I have to forward it to second level support? Maybe it's a very specific question about a bill that a customer has received and that is apparently wrong, but he cannot help with that. So he has to forward it. Instead of having this dispatcher person in first level support, our Service Ticket Intelligence helps with classifying tickets. So you might now say, well, we just let our customers classify the ticket. The customer has to tell us already what is the topic he wants to get help with. But what we see is that very often customers choose the wrong ticket class, so maybe he chooses the wrong category, and then the ticket lands with a colleague that actually cannot help, so he has to forward the ticket to another colleague. Unfortunately, that took a day because the inbox of the colleague is so full, so the customer is already waiting for one day to get the first answer. So you see the problem there. And with our automated ticket classification, we can eliminate this problem. So basically, customers do not have to choose their ticket category, but this service automatically identifies the ticket category, and then you can route the ticket also to the right person directly based on this ticket category. What the service also does is that it recommends the clerks answering to the tickets or looking at the tickets, the most similar tickets. So basically, if there is, as I said, there is a customer who has a complaint about a bill, the service ticket intelligence service would show the clerk at the desk, these are the 3 most similar tickets, let's say 3, that I could find, and maybe you can just copy the solution of one of those tickets to reply to your customer, or you can adapt the solution. So this in general, both together speeds up the time that we need for answering to a customer, but it also reduces repetitive tasks so that you can hire clerks or call center agents, customer service agents that can focus on actually answering customer tickets instead of dispatching them and distributing them to other colleagues. So that you can speed up service times and have higher rates of problem solution and ticket closure. And that, of course, increases customer satisfaction. Who would not be satisfied when he gets answers faster? So, as I said already, it could happen in a omni-channel front office where tickets come in through various channels, and the customer service agent just gets help through our service to faster dispatch and answer to his incoming tickets. We also have one customers of ours who is already using this. It is the company CC Energy, which is a utilities service provider in Switzerland. And they have many incoming tickets per day and per year. And they use service ticket intelligence to integrate it into their CRM on-premise system. And now they can process tickets or incoming emails much faster, and they are saving time for the team leaders who have previously managed and distributed the emails manually. And also they see that due to the machine learning capabilities, they can identify language and keywords such as urgent, complaint, or CEO, and much easier, and therefore classify the tickets accordingly. They were really happy with that tool, and they're preparing to increase the scope and extend the scope of their machine learning implementation currently. So the next service I want to talk about is document information extraction. Document information extraction is a service that can automatically digitalize unstructured business documents and extract information from those. With that, you can improve manual efforts drastically, and therefore, of course, improve efficiency and reduce costs. And I brought a short example for that. So let's say you have a bill from a company, and you need to transmit it in PDF format, and you need to bring the information from this bill into your system. Of course, you would be able to type that in by hand, but doing that manually can the person who does it can make mistakes, of course, and it's also very time intensive. So the document information extraction service is able to identify certain information on the invoice and transfers it to the system automatically. The next service that I want to talk about is document classification. Document classification can classify documents based on customer specific criteria. So the document classification can use business documents. Then you train a classification model on a set of your historic documents. And after that, the service can automatically classify new and existing documents. This I want to also show in an example. So basically you might have an inbox with many different documents incoming, and our service can automatically identify what is the type of this document. But not only that, this would, just to identify one type would be one characteristic classification. But what the service can also do is it can do a multi-characteristic classification. So it could be that additionally to the type, you also want to classify the language of the document. So it could be that you also want to know does this document include pictures? And then you could also have a yes/no classification. You could maybe want to know if the document is fine for children to look at, and that you could also do with document classification. So I want to talk about a use case that is actually a combined use case from document information extraction and document classification. So let's say you have an enterprise mailbox where you get large amount of documents incoming. Maybe there are still many industries that are still very paper-based. For example, insurance industries. Let's maybe say you're health insurance and you get large amounts of postal letters. And with those letters, you scan them all, but then you have the scans, and you now need to dispatch those documents into the right departments to take care of. Maybe you have a cancellation of the health insurance, you have maybe a sick note, and other kinds of questions that you got. So document classification could classify which kind of document it is, so that you can then route the documents to the right department. And the documents might include information that you want to transmit to your system. And then you could use document information extraction to extract this information and enrich it into the system, so that your employees can quickly return to the relevant process and to actually resolving whatever came in the enterprise mailbox. So then the next service I want to talk about is data attribute recommendation. Data attribute recommendation is a service that can classify product hierarchies. It can be used to harmonize master data, and it can be used to, it actually is a quite generic service that can be used in many very interesting use cases. So, but it is mainly made for data enrichment, data management, and securing data quality. So let me show you one example. One example that I brought with me is the commodity code prediction. So everyone who is in a company that imports and exports goods out and in and out of European Union might know about the commodity code. The commodity code is an 11 level or 11 digits long number that you have to print on your customs papers. So it is 11 digits long because it is a 11 level structure. So it basically starts with, it is something made from wood, then it is furniture made from wood, it is furniture made from sitting from wood, it is furniture made for sitting from wood but not for the living room. And this goes down 11 levels. So whenever someone in the organization creates a new material in the system, he also has to identify the right commodity code, because it will be printed on the customs papers. So let's imagine now your truck with your customs papers and your goods starts driving, comes to the first border, and there they realize, sorry, you can't pass customs because you have the wrong commodity code printed on your customs documents. Then the truck driver needs to wait until the office can send him updated documents. And if that is the case, of course, the truck stands still there, which is a high cost for the organization. Our service can now identify this commodity code automatically. But you could, for example, also use it for something else. And I want to show you how our customer Severstal is using it. So our customer Severstal, which is a big mining and mill and mining company in Russia, is using our service for their procurement process. So what they have is they have a lot of special things that employees can order, like special drills or special drill bits for their work in the mines, and or their work with the metals. And if they have, of course, their shop, their own shop where the employees can buy. But if this special drill bit is not available in this shop, they have to open a special request. And when they open this special request, they also have to define in which material category this drill bit would belong. Now, what Severstal has seen is that a lot of employees unfortunately choose the wrong material group, and then the central purchasing team is sending these special requests back to the user who has opened it to be corrected. So approximately 20% of the new material creation requests had to go back to the users. And now Severstal implemented data attribute recommendation to propose the right material group to the user, and to make sure that the back and forth of the new material creation request has an end. And actually it works very well for them, and they were very happy about it, and could, as I said, reduce the efforts for those new material creation requests by approximately 20%. Then the next service that I want to talk about is Invoice Object Recommendation. It is a service for invoices without purchase orders, where it can identify the correct invoice account for the general ledger posting and automatically propose this general ledger account to the accountant. So let's imagine you have an invoice incoming without any reference. So there is no purchase order on it. There's nothing how you can identify what this invoice is actually for. A lot of time is then invested into manually inserting the required information, such as the general ledger account. And it is a highly repetitive task and also very cost intensive. So the machine learning service now searches for the right general ledger account, and then automatically inserts the required information. And then there is also a machine learning based check performed if the correct account has been assigned and charged. And this is just a possibility to automate a very manual and cost-intense task within your finance department. And then, last but not least, the last service I want to talk about is our service Business Entity Recognition. And it is meant to detect and highlight any given type of named entity in unstructured text. So let's say you get an email from someone, and then you could identify the most relevant or the for you relevant entities in this email and transfer them into your system. So let's look at an example. Let's say there is someone in the shared service center who receives an email. Maybe it's a financial shared service center that is in contact with suppliers of your organization, and your service agent there gets an email asking if he could check the status of the invoice with the invoice number 123456 that was sent on 2nd of March, because the supplier has still not received the money for it, and he would like to know when the invoice is paid. So the business entity recognition service would be able to identify named entities in this flow text, in this unstructured text, and then automatically transmit them into the system. So we have a very interesting use case that we implemented with one of our customers, where we use that asset to integrate or to automate the shared service center in financials. So when there is an incoming ticket into the shared financial service center, then our service ticket intelligence that I have explained beforehand first categorizes the ticket. And then our service business entity recognition identifies the relevant named entities. If it is, let's say, an easy category, like the request for information about the payment of an invoice, then it is even possible to combine the service with intelligent robotic process automation to automatically answer to the customer request without any employee interaction, without any human interaction. So that the IRPA bot can take the entities identified by the business entity recognition service and looks up those entities, like it would take the invoice number, the date, and the company, would look those up in the system and then see what is the status in the system of this invoice and send it back to the customer without anyone, any human having to interact in this process whatsoever. Of course, there are also more complicated requests that a bot might not be able to take over, or maybe you're just not comfortable with having a bot answering to the customer without a human looking at it. So also, of course, there's a possibility to have a customer service agent in between for that. And so those were our 6 AI business services that I wanted to talk about. And now let's look at a short summary. What are the benefits of our services? As we deliver these services with a model template with standard APIs that you can integrate with and that you can, how you can consume the SAP AI Business Services, they have a fast time to value. They're enterprise-ready services, and you can easily activate them in Cloud Platform and then use them, and you will see outcomes very fast. You can benefit from innovations by reinventing existing business processes. I think I gave you many examples how existing business processes can be automated and optimized with our services. You can enter the world of machine learning with our SAP AI Business Services and also show maybe the colleagues in your in the departments that machine learning is nothing scary, that it won't take away your job, but that it will actually take away the boring tasks from you. So maybe you want to try out if machine learning is something for your organization, and you realize, yes, actually it is, because you used one of our SAP AI Business Services. And then you think, well, maybe we can also do something custom for our organization, and you might want to continue with data intelligence afterwards. The generic usability of our services that I have explained already in the beginning helps because you have a concrete business problem that you can find in various business processes. But the scope of our services is so detailed and so it's very concrete, so that you don't have to think big or to brainstorm about how to optimize or what to optimize in your organization. Because of the standard API, REST APIs that we are using, it is possible to integrate our services into SAP as well as non-SAP systems. So if you think you have a great use case, but you're maybe using a non-SAP system, you would be still able to benefit from our services. And our services are best practice based, so all of the machine learning services have been developed in co-innovation projects with partners and with our internal departments. So we actually looked at how our customers and us ourselves are using, or how we could use machine learning in business processes, and that is how we have developed those services. And in the end, they are also very easy to consume because they're part of the Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement, so that you can activate them if you already have a Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement contract. And then you would only pay by use, basically. So now I want to show you how you can take your own first steps with the SAP AI Business Services. First of all, I want to highlight that, of course, because we're in a SAP Community call, we have a SAP Community topic page. And there you can find many interesting articles about our services with more detailed use cases and so on. So also you can raise questions there in case you have some questions after this call and after our Q&A later. If so, please tag them with a hashtag artificial intelligence. Then you can also find us in the help portal, where you can find more details about the APIs, about the technical specifics of the services, and how you could consume them. And that is already, I think, a question in the Q&A right now. So I think I can answer that already. Some of our services are already available as a trial in the Cloud Platform trial. For example, data attribute recommendation, document information extraction, as well as document classification. And we're currently working on bringing service ticket intelligence, invoice object recommendation, and business entity recognition in there as well. So they should be available very soon. And you can test the services in the trial, yes. And also we have created tutorials and tutorial missions for some of our services. For example, for document information extraction and data attribute recommendation. Currently, we are creating more of those tutorials, and you will find them in the developers tutorial navigator soon. Also, if you're interested in the prices, the pricing estimator is available as a public source for our services, and you can see how much they would cost, and also plan how much you would need them. So you could, for example, see how many tickets do you have per month, and then you can calculate with the pricing estimator how much that would cost you. Also, for those that now thought, well, Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement, I have heard about it, but our company definitely does not want to buy that or does not want to have a contract with like that. We only want subscription contracts. We're happy to share that our services are available on the SAP store where you can buy them with the subscription model. So, last but not least, I want to talk about how our SAP AI Business Services can support in times of crisis. In the current time with COVID-19 and the coronavirus spreading all over the world, organizations see changes, for example, for remote working models, new business models, new channel creations, and a reduction of costs. So concrete changes for businesses are that they have an increased load on call centers and service centers. They have an unexpected change in workload. So either you have much more work because you're in a business that is frequented a lot at the moment, like supermarkets or retailers who deliver to big supermarkets, or maybe you have nearly no work at all because you cannot produce at the moment because you can't make sure that your workers are safe in your production environment. Then there is also a need for true end-to-end business process digitalization, as more and more employees need to work from home, if not all of your employees. So it's important that your business processes are actually digital possible. And then there is the need for IT solutions that can be implemented and operated remotely, because IT consultants that implement software cannot come to your sites anymore at the moment to implement solutions, IT solutions, but it needs to be done remotely. Then there is the need for processes and workflows and documents to be available remotely, like invoices or expenses. And last but not least, there is no CapEx approval for big IT projects. So big IT projects will most likely not be approved at the moment. So how can businesses be supported through our AI business services in times like that? Looking at the use cases that I have presented before, of course, taking workload of call center agents by using service ticket intelligence to categorize tickets and identifying priorities automatically or proposing solutions for tickets. But also securing sales, for example, using our service data attribute recommendation by supporting sales agents in closing open sales orders by proposing missing values. So this is also something that you could do with data attribute recommendation. Then, for example, digitize collaboration for IFR, IFP, design document classification and version management. Additionally, automate the processing of expenses through automated extraction of expense receipts information like invoices. Automation in accounts payable processes for automatic proposals of account assignments with increased speed and accuracy. Making sure that all requests are processed and answered towards the organizations, for example, from suppliers. Also, important topic to secure the material flow by, for example, by ensuring the prompt application of cash and preventing credit blocked orders. Or actually, there is a very interesting use case that we came across also for data attribute recommendation to identify counterfeit medicines in life science. If you ever were in a pharmacy and you're wondering, at least in Germany, I was always wondering, why does the pharmacist in the pharmacy always scan the package of the medicine twice? Doesn't his system work properly? Doesn't the cashier work properly? But actually it is because he first has to scan the medicine once to make a check with a European-wide database that identifies if the medicine is counterfeit or a scam or maybe out of date, or if there was a callback because of some issues with the production. And only the second scan is to actually do the cash, paying process. And our service could help to identify these counterfeit medicines. And last but not least, improving the competitor analysis by automatically importing sales data into your own product hierarchy. So these are just examples how our AI business services can help with automation, optimization, and digitalization in times where all of this is key and where maybe in your organizations you still have the same workload, but you had to maybe lay off employees because of the current situation, and you now need to make sure that the same work can be done by less people. So Now I'm at the end of my slideshow, and I'm happy to answer any questions that come up. As said, if you have questions afterwards, when you maybe look at the recording or at the slides, then you can raise them on the community topic page and flag them with the hashtag artificial intelligence. So let me look at the questions that we have. First question was if document information extraction service is capable of handling multiple invoice documents without having same templates, and if yes, if I can point you to the related links. Maybe my colleague Ivona can share the link in the chat while I'm answering this question. Document information extraction service is actually trained very well for invoices. It works best with invoices at the moment. And so it can handle different invoice documents that have different setup. Additionally, we are currently working on template-based extraction, so that if an invoice document is not correctly recognized out of the box, you could set up a template on which you could identify basically the boxes or the areas in which certain information is most likely to be placed, and then extract the information using this template. Then the next question is if document information extraction also supports handwritten documents. At the moment, it does not support handwritten documents, but only PDF documents. Then the question if SAP AI Business Services are available in trial, I have already answered with my slides. Yes, they are, some of them, and the rest will follow very soon. Then the next question is, do customers need to train models, or do we get pre-trained models? So that depends a bit on the service. For example, and the process that you want to automate. So basically, for example, service ticket intelligence. We looked at the possibility to create pre-trained models, but realized very soon that the categories in a service center are very customer specific. So each customer has different service or ticket categories, and that's why we identified it does not make sense to have pre-trained models. And for service ticket intelligence, for example, you would have to train an own model. Document information extraction. Currently, there is actually no option to train an own model, but it is pre-trained. When we have the template-based extraction available, there will be some kind of, let's say, customizing available, but it's also not a proper or real retraining in data science meaning. For document classification, we offer one pre-trained model, but also the possibility to train your own model. For invoice object recommendation, you would have to train your own model because the general ledger accounts in organizations are very different in each organization. For business entity recognition, we currently have two pre-trained models that we're offering, and we will soon also offer the possibility to train your own models. I hope I have covered all of them. Oh, data attribute recommendation, I forgot. That is the last one. For data attribute recommendation, you also would have to train your own model. There is no pre-trained model available at the moment. Then the next question is, do these services have a UI or are they API-based integration? So all of our services are API-based, so we do not have a UI at the moment, but we are currently developing a UI for document information extraction, where you could see the results of the extraction and then correct information if needed. But all of the other services do not have a UI, but are rather meant to be integrated into whatever solution you are working with. So, for example, Service Ticket Intelligence is also part of the SAP Service Cloud Enterprise Edition. So if you have SAP Service Cloud Enterprise Edition, you are able to use Service Ticket Intelligence without any additional costs. And there, the colleagues, our development colleagues from Service Cloud have integrated or have adapted their UIs so that you can see the results from our machine learning service, from Service Ticket Intelligence, because it makes much more sense to have that in the process that you're anyways doing instead of having to switch then the UI. The next question is AI Business Service and SAP Leonardo also does machine learning and AI services, how they would be complementing each other. So AI Business Services until last year have actually been called SAP Leonardo AI Business Services, but SAP has decided to rebrand or take out the Leonardo brand of the AI Business Services. So that is basically it is more or less the same, just a new name. Then next one is IRPA Leonardo AI Business Services and Edge Device Computing, all are IoT with AI and ML specific. How to choose the solutions prudently. So I'm not sure about, could you maybe rephrase this question? I'm not sure I understood that question correctly. So let me skip this and hope that the anonymous attendee who raised it refines the question one more time. Then the next question is image recognition and classification functionality available or planned in future? So we do not have a classical image recognition service, and that is also not planned currently, but for example, the document information extraction service in the background uses OCR technology to read the PDF document. But also the document information extraction service is planned to be enhanced by further file types. For example, currently we're working on Excel extraction, as well as TIFF documents are planned in the near future. And whenever we see big requests or pull from you, our customers, for further file types, we will evaluate and enhance the service with further file types. I'm not sure, Abhinav, what you mean with classification functionality, because we have the document classification service. What kind of classification are you looking for? Until Abhinav has answered that, let's go to the next question. What are the prerequisites before we can use the document information extraction service? So to use the document information extraction service, you basically only need to have documents, PDF documents, or one of the supported file types that is at that moment supported. It works best with invoices. We are currently enhancing the service with payment advices, as well as sales orders and purchase orders, so that it is trained on those documents as well. If we see that there is a request for further business or document types, then we would be, of course, happy to work with you to also include them in the service. For that, we then need to currently do a co-innovation so that we can retrain the service and add this document type into the service. I hope that answers the question. then the anonymous attendee came back and well, refined the question. Thank you very much. The question was about how to integrate each technology and leverage the functionalities. Thanks a lot for this clarification. So the services that we have are part of cloud platforms. So of course, it always depends a lot on what you want to integrate them with. For example, if you want to integrate one of our services with the on-premise system, there is the Cloud Connector from Cloud Platform. We also work as much as possible with our colleagues and with our other development areas to get technical standard integrations available. So for example, data attribute recommendation, there is a standard integration into the demand signal management tool. So you can faster integrate out of the box. And for integration with data intelligence, we are currently developing operators that then are part of the data intelligence platform, so that you can also use our services together with data intelligence. I hope that answers the question. And then Abhinav came back and also asked about or specified the classification question. Image classification you are looking for. As per your understanding now, we have limited feature in document classification. Yes, so document classification is actually used for PDF documents. That is correct. And we are currently not planning to have an image classification service. It's not on our roadmap currently. And then there is one last question here. Is this a cloud-based service, and how many documents can it scan? Say maximum 5 pages per PDF in 5 minutes, just to get an indicative idea. I actually would need to come back to you with regards to that, but it is definitely more than 5 pages in 5 minutes. But I would need to speak with one of our developers or data scientists to find that out. I have never asked that question or had that question before. Sorry about that, Harsh.
I think in this example, it would make sense if this question could be reposted in SAP Community so that it's easier for Jana or other product experts to get back to the question. So you can receive an answer, and it could be beneficial for other community members as well that have the similar question. All right, then thank you very much, Jana, for the presentation and also answering so many questions. Also, thank you very much for all attendees. Seeing so many questions just shows that you are highly interested in this topic. I wish everyone a nice weekend, and I think we can leave it as is, and hopefully see everyone soon in further SAP community calls.
Thank you everyone for attending the session. Have a great weekend and stay safe and healthy. Bye.